Oh my goodness, I can hardly contain my excitement here from Occupy Democrats on Turn It Around on Trump Thursday. And that's exactly the breaking story we have for you. And I'm going to show it to you in just a second. One of my favorite phrases that Trump has gotten away with in 2016 and also now is in interviews and in the media room and in the daily reports. He always goes, well, you know, a lot of people said, a lot of people are saying, but, and very rarely, almost never, does anyone even bother to say to him, hey, who are the lot of people? What are you talking about? In this breaking story, that worm may have just turned. And what he gets upset about is he gets upset when the media does it. Because, of course, for 10 years now, everybody's against Trump. Remember all of this, especially between he and Caitlin Collins? Take a listen.
And the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal, and MSDNC, and the fake news CNN. And
pointed to me. Just a quick question about that. So you haven't made any contact, though, just to make sure.
With who?
The North Koreans.
I don't want to say. I won't say that.
Okay.
ABC, CBS, and NBC, and they'll write whatever they say. And what do you do to get rid of it? You convict Trump. I have a good relationship with Kim Jong-un, and I hope he's okay. And somebody would say, oh, that's terrible. No, it's not terrible. I hope he's okay. And I think it was a fake report done by CNN. All you have to do is be really tough on him and ultimately convict him, and they leave you alone. It's totally illegal what they do. I just hope you can all watch for it, but it's totally illegal.
So can I ask you a question?
What do you have? Go ahead. No, that's enough. Go ahead.
Can I ask? But that wasn't my question.
The problem is you don't write the truth. So networks and these newspapers are really no different than a highly paid political operative, and it has to stop. It has to be illegal. It's influencing judges, and it's really changing law, and it just cannot be legal. I don't believe it's legal. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I want to go to the next.
Can I ask you a question about?
No, not CNN, please. Go ahead.
The White House has not responded to these allegations.
I told you. CNN is fake news. And they do it in total coordination with each other, and everything we do, we're restoring law, restoring order, and restoring public safety in America. That's what we want to do. And we're bringing honor and integrity and accountability back to the highest levels of the FBI, DOJ, and throughout our government. We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. Don't talk to me. Go ahead, please.
But he says he was retaliated against, and that's why he was removed from his job. Do you have a response to that?
Okay, next question.
Two things, and I'm showing you the breaking story. Number one, that's why he loves the poorly educated, because they're sycophants and don't push back. And oh yeah, Donald, next question? Yeah, I have a next question for you, and it's called This Breaking Story. Time to face the music, because this reporter just did what everyone should do. Here is the story.
Yeah, the transition, sir. You frequently took credit for the stock market highs. You said it was a reflection of how well you were doing in the polls, and then after you were elected, you said the stock market highs were a reflection of how well the transition's going and the American people's confidence in your incoming administration. Now, the stock market's not doing so well, and you're saying that's the Biden stock market, yet you are the president. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I'm not taking credit or discredit for the stock market. I'm just saying that we inherited a mess, both at the borders. You could look at every single one of the people here, and no matter who it is, they're doing better, and they are far superior to what took place for 4 years before us. When you look at prisoners being allowed to come into our country at will, just at will, people from mental institutions, gang members, drug dealers, when you look at that, what they've done to our country, and also having to do with finance, look at what happened with inflation. We had the worst inflation probably in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but I would say in the history of our country, it ate away at people. And even though you saw a stock market going up somewhat, because in my case, I had the biggest stock market increase, 88% in the last term, in my last term. But I don't view the stock market as the end all. It's an indicator. But what the stock market really tells you, and when you look at the stock market in this case, is it says how bad a situation we inherited. This is a quarter that we looked at today, and we took all of us together. We came in on January 20th. So this is Biden. And you could even say the next quarter is sort of Biden, because it doesn't just happen on a daily or an hourly basis. But we're turning it around. It's a big ship to turn around, and we're going to have the greatest country financially in the history of the world, I believe. I think we're going to do things that, and we had to do it. We reset the table. We were being ripped off by every single country, with just about without exception. I'd have to really think hard for who hasn't taken advantage. And I don't even blame those countries. I blame the person that was sitting right here where I am for allowing it to happen, where our country was ripped off on trade, hundreds of billions of dollars. And now we're doing better than we've done in a long time. You know, we were losing $4 to $5 to even $6 billion a day on trade with Biden. And now we have it down to a very manageable number, and the tariffs, for the most part, haven't even kicked in yet.
As I tend to like to say, you can't write that kind of comedy and truth. There you have who is the real president. Do you remember back in the first administration, the old phrase that came from years ago from a U.S. president when he said, you know, the buck stops here? And Donald Trump in his first administration said, well, the buck stops a lot of places. That explains so much about why not only he is who he is and always has been, and why the country is in the state that it's in, especially giving the wolf a second shot at the sheep's den, which you shouldn't have done. So the bottom line is, more reporters, I hope, will take note of that. And when he starts to play the flippity-flop waffle game of always pointing a finger at Biden or anyone besides himself, try to remind Trump, you know, when you point, there's 3 pointing back, my brother. You guys make sure you talk about this, share this, talk with your friends, those you don't agree with, and always stay frosty.